is finally here. You guys finally are gonna get a video by Blame It on George. I have not done a Blame It on George video in probably months now. I feel bad because you guys have waited a while, and I've seen a bunch of these comments. Like today when I was at work, I was like going through these comments and I was like, okay, a lot of people want to see this. The Lost Media Iceberg by Blame It on George, and despite it being 58 minutes, I'm going to do it in one part, straight through. Hopefully no interruptions, and I'm nuts because it's 12:01 a.m. right now, and instead of going to bed, I'm doing this for an hour. So I really hope it's a good hour. I have barely some water left, but hopefully I'm not going to get interrupted. Everyone's asleep, or everyone went to bed. So hopefully if I'm not too loud, it'll be all good. Again, I have no idea what to expect in this video. I was even looking it up because I know some people weren't happy because like if I just go into a video not knowing what it is, then it's like what's the point of watching it? So I looked it up a little bit, obviously not watching the video, but I tried looking it up, but I didn't want any spoilers either, so it's like, fuck what I do. And I was kind of like, hey, Lost Media, something about Lost Media, which I've seen videos about Lost Media before by Blame It on George. So we'll see what this is. I am a little bit tired. It is 12 a.m. I did do a 12-hour shift today, so I was basically up for about 19 hours now, so I'm going to be up for at least 20 watching this video for you guys. I just feel bad and I want to get this out of the way. I know there's more videos by Blame It on George that you want me to watch, like a bunch, like someone suggested like 10. So obviously I'm behind on a lot, but I will hopefully do them all. I'm really curious how many views this one will get because I know that this one was really requested. I know somebody said it'll keep you intrigued and entertain the whole video. Prove me right, or prove yourself right, please. I wanna see be right because I want this to be a great hour for us. My cat's just over there. Hopefully she gets bored and joins me because I'm gonna be here for an hour. So I'm just trying to prepare myself my longest reaction video straight through. So I'm scared to press play. I don't know what to expect, but let's go, guys.
This video is brought to you by Hunt a Killer. If you're a fan of mysteries and want to test your own puzzle-solving skills, then Hunt a Killer is the product for you.
Like, is this scary? I don't know what this is. Like, Lost Media.
Boxes that challenges players to decipher codes.
But this is just an intro. This is just a thing, so I'm just gonna mute this for now, but it's still playing. I don't know I really don't know what to expect. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if this is gonna be scary at all. Like, it's called Lost Media, so I don't know how this is gonna work exactly, but I believe the sponsor is about until 2 minutes in, but at 1 minute I'm gonna unmute it just in case I don't miss anything, just so I don't mess anything up on my first Blame It on George video in a while. I'm actually gonna look it up. When is the last time I did a Blame It on George video? Wait, it is called Blame It on George, okay. I'm gonna look this up right now and tell you guys, then I'll unmute it just because I'm really curious. So hurry up, Wi-Fi, you're gonna freaking fuck up on me now? Seriously? Okay. Alright, Felicia, okay. Come on, man. I'm gonna mute this right now just cause. Oh, good thing I okay. The following video may contain material not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. It's been 7 months since I've done a Blame It on George video. That one got almost 1,000 views, so obviously you guys like these videos, so. Sorry if I'm talking too much, I just wanna give thoughts.
So lately these iceberg images have become a trend online. They're usually made for conspiracy theories, with the tip of the iceberg containing some of the most well-known conspiracies. Okay. But the deeper you go down, the stranger and darker it gets.
So this is about an iceberg, obviously.
And apply it to all sorts of properties. Pokemon, Zelda, and most famously, Super Mario 64. Today, I'd like to take you through the Lost Media Iceberg. A few notes before we get started. Yes, as you may have noticed, it's in Spanish. That's because this was made by Shiki, creator of the Lost Media Wiki in Espanol. So shoutouts to him and Dysphoria for letting me use this image. Second, the Lost Media scene is just different in Latin America than here. I'll be excluding some of the Spanish-specific pieces of Lost Media and include some different ones to fill the void. Anyways, let's dive in. This is the Lost Media Iceberg. How many do you know?
None. How many do I know?
SpongeBob SquarePants deleted scenes. With an over 20-year run, SpongeBob has amassed a stockpile of deleted scenes on the cutting room floor.
I didn't really watch
SpongeBob. The reasons for their deletion can range from simple writing concerns to more scandalous issues, like when a recent episode cut a scene referencing Squidward's suicide from rebroadcasts. Of the scenes that have yet to resurface, include the appearance of Mrs. Puff's dad, which Tom Kenny is credited for voicing, despite the character never appearing in the series. Clockman. I made a video about this, which I'm pretty sure most of you have seen thanks to YouTube's recommendations. But in short, in 2012, a user named Commander Santa recollected a short he remembered watching as a child. He described it as being about a young boy who gets snatched by the titular Clockman. The mystery surrounding this description was enough to incite a 5-year-long search for the described short, spanning across multiple forums and websites.
And it looks pretty old,
After
so
much deliberation, the short was eventually found in 2017. As it turns out, the film had just been uploaded in high quality by its current rights owners, AAA Studios. After being sent the video, Commander Santa confirmed that it was the same short he saw on that fateful day, putting the search to rest. A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants. I also made a video about this, so go check that out. But in short, A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants is a mockumentary said to have been made by Regal Films without the permission of Nickelodeon. After discovering Amazon listings for the film and finding the concept laughable, users on 4chan began attempting to purchase copies of the film to no success. After months of contacting everyone they could find related to the production company, they eventually made contact with the film's supposed creator, who claimed that it had never been made. The film was supposedly written but never completed. He claimed that they would crowdfund the rest of the film that following year, but this never happened. And it's unknown if he's telling the truth. Doraemon 73. Doraemon is an iconic character in Japanese pop culture, largely due to the television adaptation produced in 1979. However, what many people don't realize is that this wasn't the character's animated debut. 6 years prior, a company named NTV Video made the initial attempt to serialize the character. In spite of relatively good ratings, the show was abruptly cancelled due to the studio going bankrupt. Consequently, many of the staff didn't get paid for their work, and the original reels were either sold or destroyed in dissolution. Urban legend says that due to the IP owners disapproving of the series, all of the episodes were destroyed in a cremation fire. This isn't true, however, as the show is said to be preserved in private archives. Due to legal complications regarding the show's rights, few materials have surfaced online. Cry Baby Lane.
I've never heard of any of these, not gonna lie, so I've written almost nothing to see these, to be honest. I'm sorry.
2000. The film never aired outside of the US, and for the longest time had never been rebroadcast after its premiere. Consequently, the film was largely forgotten. Until 2011, when a Reddit thread recollecting the film began garnering attention. Here, it was speculated that the film had never re-aired due to some unforeseen controversy, such as parents complaining to the network that it was too scary. Because the speculated backstory fell in line with many lost episode creepypasta tropes, many were skeptical of the film's existence. That is, until a copy of the film was discovered a few days later and released online. This prompted Teen Nick to re-air the film that Halloween, and revealed that the film hadn't been banned, but instead simply forgotten. Rude Removal.
Haven't heard of this either.
Rude Removal is the title of an unaired episode from the Cartoon Network show Dexter's Laboratory, in which Dexter and his sister Dee Dee are accidentally split into pairs, reflecting the polite and rude portions of their personality. Intended to air in 1997 during the show's second season, it was rejected due to the episode's excessive profanity. The episode remained an elusive rumor as a result, until its existence was publicized by Rebel Taxi, in a short segment advocating for fans to campaign for its release. A few months later, Cartoon Network's nighttime block, Adult Swim, posted a tweet gauging interest in the episode being aired publicly. The response was overwhelming, and on January 22nd, 2013, the episode was officially released online. Mario 64 2, Bowser's Revenge. With Super Mario 64 being a smash success as the console's launch title, it's no surprise that considerations for a sequel began shortly thereafter. Of course, these plans were eventually abandoned, with the next installment instead culminating in Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube. However, many were curious as to if a direct sequel to the game had begun production before Sunshine was conceived. In particular, the sequel was believed to be a scrapped project from the shortly lived Nintendo 64 disk drive.
Like not a specific one.
Prior to its discovery, There were speculations as to what the scope of the project was, as well as how much of it had been completed. Sources claiming to have been close to the project stated that it was in fact intended to be a sequel, seemingly confirming suspicions. However, these statements would be contradicted when a copy of the project was found at a thrift store in Japan. Disappointingly, it seems that the project was never intended to be a sequel, instead serving as simply a tech demo to demonstrate the hardware's potential. Unreleased songs by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's massive catalog of unreleased music has been long sought after due to his talent and legacy. The majority of these remain entirely unknown to the public, with hundreds said to be sitting on the late musician's hard drives.
Hundreds?
Given the broad definition of unreleased music, which can range from fully mastered tracks to one-off demos, it's unlikely his entire catalog will ever be leaked. Though it's clear that Sony is handpicking the ones they feel could still hold up.
The one
Food Fight, the original version. Released in 2012, Food Fight is infamous for being one of the worst animated films of all time. Spending over a decade in development hell, the film had an estimated budget of $45 to $65 million. So, what happened? Well, in 2002, development was abruptly stopped when hard drives containing all the film's progress were supposedly stolen, forcing the film to be entirely remade from scratch.
Honestly, that would suck.
The original film was apparently over halfway complete, meaning that if the hard drives hadn't been stolen, it would have looked passable and have been released nearly a decade earlier.
Fuck.
However, no suspect has ever been named publicly, with not even a hint of who the culprit could have been. With no leads as to where the hard drives could be, it's unlikely the original film will ever resurface.
That honestly sucks. Like, working on that and that happens.
Black Friday Reel.
Toy Story.
Pixar's first feature-length film, Toy Story, arguably popularized the trend of computer animation we see today. However, when Pixar first began developing the project, they had an entirely different audience in mind. These storyboards, from when the film was still intended for adults, are from what is now known as the Black Friday cut, aptly named for its far darker tone than the original. This version of the script had apparently been fully scripted and storyboarded, until Disney executives began reviewing their progress and threatened to cancel the film. So far, only a 2-minute sample of this cut has been released, known as the Black Friday Reel. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. Though many are familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure's later adaptations, many are unaware of the series' 2007 film, Phantom Blood, which had been produced to commemorate the anniversary of the creator's career. This is because after its limited Japanese run in 2007, the film never aired again. While the exact reason has never been specified, a multitude of issues have been cited as the explanation, ranging from the film's poor reception to general licensing issues. Johnny Quasar. In 1995, DNA Productions debuted a 40-second long demo featuring an incarnation of the character Jimmy Neutron. Instead, his name was Johnny Quasar. This tech demo was impressive enough to not only win 2 awards at the conference, but catch the eye of a producer, who'd eventually fund the pilot that was pitched to Nickelodeon. Despite contact being made with both creators of Jimmy Neutron, as well as those who attended the conference, the demo wouldn't surface until 2017, when Johnny Quasar's voice actor uploaded the footage himself to his YouTube channel. Kablam! Final episode. Nickelodeon's Kablam is rather obscure in the grand scheme of things, but unavoidable in the lost media community due to how elusive it seems to be. The show avoided receiving any home media releases, was rarely rebroadcasted, and may never be re-released officially due to licensing issues. The most elusive part of the show, however, was its series finale, Just Chillin'. Due to the show's obscurity and poor documentation, even finding evidence of its existence was difficult, until the episode re-uploaded in 2016. This was because the show's creator, Mark Merrick, eventually confirmed its existence, and announced that he'd be posting them in full to his website.
So they're up now, I guess.
Cleopatra is a 1917 silent film starring
1917? Holy shit.
Considered one of the actress's most daring roles. It became infamous at the time for posing in risque, nearly nude outfits. The film was eventually targeted by church organizations,
who began attempting
to obtain all copies of the film to destroy it for obscenity. Though historians attempted to save as many copies as they could, the last known copies of the film were said to have been destroyed in a studio on fire in the 1930s.
Come on now.
Making it one of the holy grails of vintage film. El Apostol.
Wasn't that bad? Another 1917 film.
El Apostol is considered the world's first feature animated film. Produced in Argentina, the film consists of a total of 58,000 frames, resulting in a runtime of 70 minutes.
Wow.
The film was a satirical take on the then Argentine presidents. It was well received by critics at the time, and was a commercial success. Sadly, however, the only known copy was destroyed when its producer's film studio burned down.
Honestly, that would suck.
Crackmaster.
Bruh, I can't.
Crackmaster, or Cracks, is a short from Sesame Street about a young girl making friends with the cracks on her walls, who would form into animals and such. The search began in 2008, when a man named Dhar Mann posted online about his memories of this short, and how it haunted him, similar to the search for Clockman. I also have a mini documentary about this search, and it's quite bizarre how it all resolves. Doctor Who. Nearly 100 episodes of the beloved science fiction show Doctor Who are currently missing. This is due to the BBC having a habit of reusing tapes for new episodes, scrubbing the previous footage from existence.
Why would you do
By
that?
the 1970s, home media became popular, and the BBC began searching for these episodes through television stations and private collectors. Although a good amount was recovered, Doctor Who remains one of the most famous cases of lost media.
What happened there? I just went to stop for a second? Okay.
Mickey
Smooth
Mouse in
sailing.
Vietnam.
Yeah, because I know there's different
Mickey Mouse
icebergs. I don't know how that works
is
though.
an
I'm so
unauthorized
confused.
animated short film created in 1968.
Like, I don't get
With
what
a
this has to do with
runtime
an
of
iceberg. Am I
only 1
stupid or
It
something?
was made in protest of the Vietnam War as part of the underground comics movement. It depicts Mickey Mouse being joyfully recruited for the Vietnam War before being shot in the head. It was shown around various short film festivals at the time, winning several
This
awards.
is a kid's show, just
before
getting shot in the
never
head
being
like
seen
that?
by the public again. The film was thought to be lost for decades, though every so often a private copy would re-emerge at film festivals. It wouldn't be fully released to the public, however, until a student recovered a version of the film from a scrap bin of his college. The film's official title has since been discovered to be Short Subject.
Can you imagine like finding that,
Drake
like
and
just being a
Josh
college
pilots.
student? Drake and
Nickelodeon's
Josh?
Drake and Josh is one of the most beloved kids-oriented sitcoms of all time. Though the first episode is considered by fans as the pilot, the actual pilot was produced in 2001, before Nickelodeon had greenlit the show. At one point, the entire pilot was
think I watched the
uploaded to
show.
YouTube by show creator
What
Nick
I've heard
Schneider
of it.
himself.
Nick
Though,
Schneider.
for unknown reasons, he eventually privated the video. Over the years, mirrors of the pilot have resurfaced online, though they have consistently been taken down by Nickelodeon and Viacom, providing a possible explanation as to why Schneider had to private his upload. Empress Chung. Empress Chung is a 2005 animated feature film, developed as a personal project by the film's director, Nelson Shin. Spending over a decade in just pre-production, the film was notable for having been produced and released simultaneously in both North and South Korea. With a $6.5 million budget, the film was a financial failure in the United States, and to this day has yet to see a home release. There has been speculation that a DVD release does exist in North Korea, though no evidence of this has materialized beyond word of mouth. The Backyardigans pilots.
Oh, I love
Before the
Backyardigans.
Backyardigans
I still love it
on
now.
Nickelodeon, the characters first appeared as a live-action pilot
look
filmed at
creepy.
Nickelodeon Studios in the late 90s.
They look so creepy there. Oh
Titled
my
Me and
god.
My Friends, the characters are instead portrayed in full-body suits with minor visual differences.
Like Uniqua looks so
Not much
scary
else
like
is known about
that.
the pilots, as the only known footage has a cumulative runtime of 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Marilyn Manson's groupie.
Well,
With a long
I'm
history
glad it
of
changed to
being
the way
a
it did. Oh my
provocateur,
goodness.
it should be no surprise that when Marilyn Manson made his first step into filmmaking, he would produce something unsettling. Shot in one night, sometime between 1996 and 1998, Marilyn Manson's unreleased short film, Groupie, is said to have been so perverted and violent that his manager begged him to never release it, believing it could end Manson's career, or
What?
even lead to his conviction.
The hell did he make?
Filmed at an actual house party with unwitting guests, Manson tortures an actor he hired to play the role of a groupie to a crowd who have no reason to believe it's staged.
Why would you?
It's said that at one point the groupie is tied up. Somehow Manson introduces a firearm, and a violent fight breaks out, causing bloodshed. Though Manson at one point teased a release of the film in 2016, for the most part, it seems that groupie has been locked away forever, in fear of
Good.
jeopardizing
That's
Manson's
fucked up.
career.
That's fucked up. Why the hell would you even do that?
During the peak of Sailor Moon's popularity in the early 90s, Toei struggled to seal redistribution deals in the North American markets. As a result, they held a bidding war to determine who would deliver the
I don't know what this
franchise
show
to
is.
America. One of these participants was Toon Makers, an animation and advertising company that worked primarily on feature films. Rather than producing a cost-effective English dub, they instead pitched a 17-minute-long pilot that only had half the episode featuring animation, replacing the other half with Power Rangers-esque live-action segments. This was, rather unsurprisingly, rejected. Though some animation cells and scenes have resurfaced, the full pilot has yet to leak online.
It's crazy to think how much there was that was unreleased and stuff. It's crazy.
The infamous episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
I gotta have a watch
revolving
SpongeBob.
around the main characters swearing, albeit bleeped out with dolphin sounds. According to SpongeBob's voice actor, Tom Kenny, they were told to use substitute words, but the voice actors found it too difficult, so they actually cussed.
Oh,
These
wow.
original recordings have yet to resurface, though are said to exist somewhere in Nickelodeon's archives.
It's a kid's show. It can't actually cuss. I mean,
GTA
it's blurred out.
64. In
64.
E3 1999, a port of the original Grand Theft Auto for the N64 was debuted privately.
That's honestly insane how it looks. Oh my
At the time
god.
of the event, it would have had
64.
enhanced graphics and new levels, though for unknown reasons was quietly shelved. So far, only alleged screenshots have surfaced from the game, with no footage ever making it to the public, and no confirmation that these screenshots are anything but mock-ups.
Wow.
American Dog. Before Disney's film Bolt was Bolt, it was known as American Dog, and held by the director of Lilo and Stitch. However,
Lilo and
director
Stitch, my
Chris
best friend loves
Sanders
that.
and the executives at Disney had far different ideas of what the film should be. The original plot of the film was far more surreal than what it was reworked into, and when executives attempted to meddle with the concept, Sanders rejected their changes. Eventually, he was removed from the project altogether, causing him to leave Disney for DreamWorks instead.
Wow.
Very few production materials from this period of the film have been released online, likely due to contractual agreements. Newt. Originally intended to be released in the summer of 2011, not much is actually known about Pixar's Newt.
I've never
The
heard
plot
of that.
synopsis is said to have been similar to the film Rio, which was released after this film was cancelled. According to Pixar's president, Edwin Campbell, he stated that the idea was scrapped during pre-production, eventually being replaced with Inside Out. It's unknown how much of the film was completed before cancellation, though concept art and supposed music from the film have surfaced online.
It would suck to be almost
Kurt
done and then
Cobain's
just
Ren and
get
Stimpy.
gets cancelled.
Before Kurt Cobain found success with his band Nirvana, he supposedly attempted to write a theme song for the series, Ren and Stimpy. According to
I never
Stimpy's
heard of
voice
that
actor,
either.
Phil
I'm not gonna lie.
West, Kurt visited Spunko Animation headquarters to perform a song he'd written about the show.
Let you stay there. One day the scraggly kid comes in and said he wanted to write a song for Ren and Stimpy, and they said, yeah, that's great, and they threw it in the wastebasket. It was Kurt Cobain.
I have no idea who Kurt Cobain is, not
There
gonna
is
lie.
no evidence of this event ever occurring, and it's possible that the voice actor just made it up as a joke. However, some speculate that a demo of this song may exist somewhere in his archives.
It's possible,
Astrology
right?
with Squidward. These were a
Squidward.
series of little-known shorts that Nickelodeon would air sometime in the early 2000s, showing Squidward explaining some of the different zodiac signs: Cancer, Taurus, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Leo. This is a unique piece of lost media because it was rumored that the other zodiac signs also had their own shorts, but they were lost.
Yeah,
However,
Scorpio's
we
not
now
in there.
know
I'm a
that they
Scorpio,
never
so I'm
actually
lost.
existed. Sesame Street, 847.
Sesame Street.
This is a long-lost episode of Sesame Street that is notable for being apparently frightening to young viewers. It
That's-
featured Margaret Hamilton,
like, that's,
reprising her role
that's
as
scaring me
the
now
Witch
right
of
now.
the West, losing her broom in Sesame Street. She then tries to find it, resulting in all sorts of shenanigans. Though there are a few images online, the full episode was only aired once, and has never been officially released. Sesame Workshop also does not plan on including it in their big archive for the AAPB. Yeah Yeah Beavis 1.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
June
Beavis
1989
1.
to September
What?
1990, a
I
strange
don't know
game
any of
known
these.
as Yeah Yeah Beavis 1 has been seen in multiple gaming magazines. No one knows what this game truly is, as it was never released. Though there are multiple theories, a game called Yeah Yeah Beavis 1 doesn't seem to exist as of now.
I feel like some people just make it up and say that something existed like that, but it actually hasn't. Lums?
The
I don't know.
suicide of Christine Chebuk. Christine Chubbuck was an American television news reporter who, in 1974, tragically ended her own life.
That's so sad.
After years of struggling with depression, confounded by a recent operation that hindered her chances of having a child, she brought a revolver to her workplace and committed suicide on live television.
Oh my god.
Recordings of this incident do exist, being in the possession of the station's owner, Robert Nelson.
Delete that
In
or something.
2016, it was given to a large law firm to ensure that it was never lost.
Oh my god.
However, it's been made clear that there are no plans for the footage to ever be made publicly available.
Well, probably not. That's
The basement
terrifying.
tapes. In 1999, 2 students from Columbine High School carried out one of the deadliest school shootings in history. Prior to the event, the two recorded a series of videos that contained disturbing material, such as their motives and a kill list.
Bruh,
These
stop.
recordings, dubbed the basement tapes, were later recovered by Jefferson County and destroyed in subsequent years. There is an hour-long video of the basement tapes on YouTube, but according to the family members of the victims, the total runtime of all the footage is around 3 to 4 hours.
Shit.
The rest is likely gone for good.
That's
The death
that's
of
honestly
Steve
insane
Irwin.
how there's like that, like
Steve
footage like
Irwin,
that.
nicknamed the Crocodile Hunter, was a popular wildlife expert and television personality. On September 4th, 2006, while filming a documentary in Great Barrier Reef, Irwin was attacked by a stingray. The attack would tragically prove to be fatal, as Irwin succumbed to the multiple injuries to his chest. Prior to filming, Irwin instructed his team to never stop recording, even if the situation became dire. As a
So-
result, the entire aftermath, including his actual moment of death, were captured on film.
Oh my god.
This footage was first given to authorities before it was returned to Irwin's family. All copies of the footage are said to have been destroyed, including his final words, "I'm dying."
That's honestly
The
so
death
sad
of Owen
though.
Hart.
Yeah, it's
Owen
just all
Hart
death
was a
sounds. It's just
professional
depressing.
wrestler who is regarded as one of the World Wrestling Foundation's best in-ring performers of all time. On May 23rd, at Over the Edge 1999, Hart accidentally triggered an early release of his harness, causing him to drop 78 feet. Though fans didn't know it at the time, they had just witnessed a man fall to his death. Footage of the incident does exist within the WWE archives, though it's unlikely they'll be released out of respect to Hart and his family. While the event was televised, a pre-recorded promotional video was played during the incident,
It's just sad
ruling out
shit.
any possibility of an at-home viewer owning a recording. So far, only audio recordings and photographs have made it to the public. Audio of Timothy Treadwell. Timothy Treadwell, also known as the Grizzly Man, was a bear enthusiast who was mauled to death while camping with his girlfriend at a national park.
See, that's why I
While it's
don't
unknown
care.
how the incident started, the couple were found dead, with the attack recorded on their video camera.
It was all recorded. Oh my
Because the
god, I
camera's lens cap was
can't.
still on, only audio of the incident exists. According to an Alaskan state trooper, the tape began and ended when he was being mauled. In a documentary about Treadwell's life, the director films himself listening to the tape after being given access to it by one of Treadwell's ex-girlfriends. Disturbed, he tells her she should destroy it, though she instead chose to store it in a deposit box. Though copies are known to exist, it's unlikely that the audio will ever be released to the public.
Probably not. Like
Dross
shit like
versus D'Lo
that. I
Brown.
don't think anything like that would be released.
In a 1999 wrestling match between Dross and D'Lo Brown for WWF SmackDown, Brown accidentally executed a powerbomb finisher incorrectly, fracturing Dross's neck vertebrae. Although Dross was rushed to the hospital and thankfully survived, the injury left him as a permanent quadriplegic, ending his wrestling career forever.
That's honestly fucked.
The men reconciled days after the incident, remaining friends. They both agreed, however, that the footage should never see the light of day, and it was placed forever in the WWE vaults.
Wow. Like how we
The
were
footage
friends
of
after
Armin
that. He almost
Laiwes.
killed me.
In
Obviously not on
2001,
purpose, but
Bernd
shit.
Brandes visited Armin Laiwes after the two had met on a fantasy cannibalism forum. Laiwes had a fetish for cannibalism, while Brandes had a fetish for being devoured. Upon meeting, Brandes was consensually murdered, as Laiwes filmed himself dismembering Brandes' body,
Oh my
desecrating
god.
it before eating it.
Oh,
The tapes were
why?
sought after by gore websites,
There's a video of that?
causing it to be held onto tightly by German authorities.
Oh my god.
4 alleged screenshots have surfaced online, though their validity has never been proven.
I'm not.
Given their disturbing nature, with journalists who viewed the tape during trial needing therapy, it's unlikely the tapes will ever be released.
Yeah, no shit,
The
really.
audio of Issa Sagawa, Issei Sagawa is a convicted Japanese cannibal who, while studying abroad in France, filmed himself murdering his classmate before cooking her remains.
Oh.
Due to a variety of international legal issues, Sagawa is actually free to this day,
What?
becoming a surprise celebrity in Japanese pop culture.
The torso
The
is
recording of
extremely...
the incident, said to include the actual murder and stagings
Why
with
are you
the
telling
corpse,
me this?
was confiscated by French authorities.
Why are you telling
and
me this?
will
I
likely
don't know
never
this.
be released.
It's something like a horror movie.
The audio of the
Yeah,
Moors murderers.
you're horror. Like,
Serial killer couple Ian Brady and Myra Hindley
God.
committed a series of acts that have since been titled the Moors Murders. In order to reminisce of their crimes, which included torturing prepubescent children, they maintained audio recordings of many of their victims. For obvious reasons, they will likely never see the light of day.
I fucking hope
The
not.
sex tape of Mickey Mouse.
Pardon
In
me.
1936, during Walt Disney's birthday party, two animators created a gag animation in which Mickey and Minnie Mouse were having sex. Upon its presentation, Walt feigned laughter, asking for the two responsible for it to come forward. He then fired them and had all copies of the animation destroyed.
There it is.
It's unknown how true the story is, originating from an already dubious biographical account
I'm
of the
curious, did it
animator's
ever
life.
like leak at all?
But due to its obscurity,
I'm not gonna watch, I'm
it's
just saying
unlikely
to
the
the leak.
copies would have survived to this day. The death of Brandon Lee. During the filming
is
of his
sad
first
shit.
and final lead role, Brandon Lee was tragically shot and killed during the accidental misfiring of a gun loaded with blank cartridges. The incident was caught on camera, though the director claimed to have insisted it was destroyed. Several cameramen from the production have gone on to state that copies of the incident still do exist, though no tangible proof of this have ever reached the public. Goodbye, innocence.
Anything of like a death should be just like
La Rosa de
destroyed.
Guadalupe
Like, I
is
don't
a
know why we
Mexican
want to have
television
that.
program centered around promoting Catholicism. Many of the episodes are based upon real incidents, retold with religious imagery. The most controversial of these was an episode centered around a series of gang rapes that occurred in July of 2012. During the incident, a religious group of approximately 90 people were attacked by armed gang members while camping in El Colibri. Among the assaults and theft, 12 underage girls were molested.
Oh my god.
Only 1 month later, an episode based upon the incidents was produced, titled Goodbye Innocence. Parents and victims of the attack protested its premiere, successfully convincing the channel to drop the episode.
Good.
That is until they wound up airing it anyways a year later.
What the fuck?
After the second
Fuck you.
backlash, they have since never rebroadcast it, with no copies of the episode surfacing online, aside from a handful of stills. Super Hornio Bros. Super Hornio Bros is a pornographic parody of the Super Mario Bros. Series
Oh,
from
God.
1993, starring Ron Jeremy as Super Hornio. Shortly after its release, the film's distribution rights were bought by Nintendo themselves. As a result, its existence was buried, only being known as an urban legend until it was recounted on the Something Awful forums. It seems that the film did get a small limited release before being purchased by Nintendo, so it's very possible they could still surface online somehow.
Oh lord.
So far though, only its sequel has been found. Cannibal Holocaust deleted scenes.
Oh my god.
With the 1980 film Cannibal Holocaust already
Never heard
being
of it.
infamous for its disturbing imagery, it's no surprise that any scene cut from it would share a similar effect. This was the case with the Lost Piranha scene, in which a warrior of the Yanomamo tribe is lowered into piranha-infested waters to have his leg amputated. Filming for the scene was never completed, due to the piranhas being difficult to control, though stills confirm that some takes do exist.
Oh my
The
god.
whereabouts of these scenes are unknown. Ricardo Lopez's video diary. Ricardo Lopez,
1996.
also known as the Bjork Stalker, is a man who filmed the last weeks of his life leading up to his eventual suicide. The tapes center around his plot to create an acid bomb to disfigure a pop star, angered that she begun dating someone he disapproved of.
Oh my god. It's
With
not
over
up to
20
you.
hours of footage, captured on tape included his manufacturing of the bomb, as well as his suicide. The tapes were discovered by authorities after Lopez's body was reported, causing the bomb to be intercepted, and the singer thankfully unharmed.
Oh thank god.
For years, the full video diary was only available in the form of an abridged 70-minute documentary,
Like who would
though the
want to
full
watch
tapes
this?
are
I would
easily
not want
accessible
to.
online. original Jeff the Killer image.
Oh my god.
The infamous story of Jeff the Killer is one of the most well-known creepypastas of all time.
That looks so creepy.
However,
I can't.
its accompanying image remains a mystery.
Looks so
No one is certain where the original unedited photo is.
I've heard of
or
Jeff the
what it
Killer,
looks like.
but oh.
It was believed to have been a photo of a girl named Katie Robinson, who posted an image of herself on 4chan sometime in early 2008. However, no evidence of this woman's existence can be found online, and the Jeff the
It
Killer
does kinda
image
look
can be
a little bit
seen even
similar.
before 2008. As of now, the most widely accepted theory is that the original image is of a cam girl from Stickcam, but no one can find it.
I don't like seeing that image. I don't want to see that no more. Oh my god. Okay, this is whack. This is wild. Scooby-Doo.
The Beatles, Carnival of Light. Carnival of Light is an unreleased Beatles song, known for being pretty long, at 14 minutes, and pretty experimental or avant-garde.
It says
The song was produced for
2054.
a 2-day festival known as the Million Volt Light and Sound Race.
Okay.
Other than those 2 days, the track has never been played to the public. Paul McCartney has stated that he still has the song in his possession, and that he wants to release it, but that would require the approval of the other members or their estates. Cameraheads. Cameraheads is a lost creepypasta that was posted on 4chan in 2008, supposedly predating other popular creepypastas like Jeff the Killer or Slenderman. The story is about a man who discovers a backpack with a broken camera, a videotape, and a note that says, "I killed a camerahead inside." He begins to research what the cameraheads are before being stalked by one himself. It had your early creepypastas and ARG cliches, and a few online screenshots confirms its existence. Sadly, it's still lost, but a video has resurfaced in recent times. Chikara to Ona no Yo-Yo Naka. I probably mispronounced that horribly.
Probably.
This film is said to be the first Japanese anime to feature voice actors. It was released
cool.
in 1933 by Kenzo Masaoka, and features a man who cheated on his abusive wife. Despite the film's significance, no prints are said to be available, and it is a
The
lost
cheating's not the
film.
answer, even if they're a little
Dingo
bitch.
Pictures. Dingo Pictures is a notoriously bad animation company, known for ripping off other studios like Disney and Pixar. Their films were really low budget and made for a quick buck, honestly, but they have gained somewhat of a cult following nowadays. Surprisingly, most of their films are found, with the only exception being Sing Meets Aladdin, but even that one is only partially lost.
Yeah, it says found for basically everything.
Batman
That's kind of
Fights
cool.
Dracula. Considered one of the most sought-after Asian films of all time, Batman Fights Dracula is noteworthy for having very little known about it, besides the standard stuff like the crew and cast. It was released in 1967, and features a mad scientist, who, after being thwarted by the Cape Crusader time and time again, decides to resurrect Dracula to fight Batman for revenge. Super
Interesting.
Smash Bros. Slamfest
Super
99.
Smash Bros.
Back in 1999, Nintendo held an event called Slamfest 99, which showcased Mario, Yoshi, Pikachu, and Donkey Kong battling in a boxing ring.
I feel
Although
like
many
I've seen
photos
this,
were
huh?
salvaged thanks to the Wayback Machine, no footage of the event currently exists.
I feel like I've seen that. I don't know why.
Banjo 3. At the end of Banjo Tooie, Gruntilda hints at a sequel game known as Banjo 3. It is believed that this game would have been for the GameCube, Xbox,
it or
and
not?
Xbox 360.
No? Okay.
And a tech demo of Space
Sorry.
World 2000 called Banjo 3 exists. Sadly, the game never went far into development, and was scrapped and replaced with Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Aaron Ralston's video diary.
Another video
On
diary.
April 26, 2003, Aaron Ralston, a mountaineer, was climbing down Blue Jaw Canyon in Utah. During this event, the boulder that he was using to support his weight dislodged and crushed his wrist against the canyon wall.
Fuck.
For the next couple of days, he would record a series of videos for his friends and family, under the assumption that he was going to die. Fortunately, he survived, but only after going to extreme lengths to survive, such as
Shit.
amputating his own arm. The
His-
story was the inspiration
his
for the
own
film
arm.
127 Hours, and his video diary is mostly lost. Aaron has stated that he would like the videos to remain private, as they were made for his loved ones, and he wants to keep it that way. Despite this, a few snippets have made their way online. TATU
It's
Paragate.
fucked.
TATU is a Russian pop duo from the late 90s and early 2000s, and this would have been an animated film starring the two singers. Very few promo images were ever released, and the film was eventually scrapped after the duo broke their contract with their manager. stating that he was too focused on creating scandals and fetishizing them.
Oh,
Unfortunately, he apparently had a lot to do with the movie, and it's unlikely it'll ever be produced now. Chris Farley's Shrek audio. I think most people know about this now, but Chris Farley, famed comedian from SNL, was supposed to be the original voice of Shrek.
Did not know
Unfortunately,
that.
he passed away from a drug overdose while he was still working on the film. It's said that 80 to 90% of Shrek's audio was recorded by Farley, and although the producers considered hiring a voice impersonator to finish the film, it was ultimately decided to pass the role to Mike Myers, fellow SNL member. Very little of Farley's take on the character was released, giving fans a small peek into an early version of their favorite Green Ogre. However, it's very unlikely that the rest will be released. Kingdom of the Sun.
Interesting.
This was a very early version of what would become the Emperor's New Groove, before being drastically redesigned.
Emperors. I feel like I've.
Besides a few characters, everything else was pretty different.
I think I
and
remember
even
the
the plot
show.
was a bit darker. You can read about it online, it's kind of a lot, and it's an interesting little Disney rabbit hole. But given that the Emperor's New Groove does exist, it's highly unlikely that this version will ever be made. Previous versions of Minecraft.
I've
There
never
are
played
quite a few
Minecraft
early beta
ever.
versions of Minecraft that were made before the game really became popular. Unfortunately, many of these are lost due to time,
Isn't this the
and
same
just the game
thing?
naturally progressing and updating.
Like, isn't
But you can
this the
find some
same thing, just
extremely
better
early
quality?
versions of the game
Am
on
I
the Lost
stupid or
Media
something?
Wiki. GTA 3 for the Game Boy Advance. A version of Grand Theft Auto 3 was supposed to be made for the Game Boy Advance, developed by
It
Crawfish
looks
Studios.
terrible so far.
However, the company was unfortunately shut down, and a lot of the staff were laid
Why?
off, causing the game to be unfinished and eventually lost. Pokemon Crystal DLC. Pokemon Crystal had some downloadable content that was only accessible using the Mobile Adapter GB, an accessory for the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. It was
Alright.
only ever released in Japan, though the data for this still exists in international versions. Some of the DLC included items such as the GS Ball and Mirage Mail, as well as some minigames. Dumbo 2.
Dumbo
The
2.
sequel for Disney's hit film, Dumbo, was planned to be released, but it never came to fruition for whatever reason. Only some storyboards and a vague plot description exist. The film would have featured the main cast getting lost in New York, and Dumbo's father would have made an appearance. Sonic DS.
No, sorry, I'm not
E3
saying much.
2004, Sega unveiled a tech demo called Sonic
I
DS.
remember Sonic, I think.
The demo showed Sonic running through a level, with the player being able to control Sonic's speed with the DS stylus. It's unknown if this was meant to be developed into a full game, as nothing ever really came out of it.
What's next? Emotions.
Chicken Little 2. A sequel was planned for the Disney film Chicken Little, but never made it that far into development. The plot involved Chicken Little finding himself in a love triangle between the ugly duckling Abby and a new character named Rafaela. The film was never made, possibly due to Chicken Little receiving mixed reviews, and only storyboards currently exist. Betty Boop and Popeye's sex tape.
Pardon me?
Recounted in an article by animation historian Jim Hill, the story goes that Max Fleischer, the creator of both characters, surprised animators at a celebration party for their new studio with an animation. This animation was a fully animated short of Betty Boop and Popeye having sex, complete with backgrounds,
Lovely.
voice actors, a musical score, and stylized Florida landscaping.
Lovely.
It was then said to have been locked away forever in a vault.
Good.
To this day,
Delete it.
no evidence of the short's existence has surfaced.
Good.
Superman
Nobody wanna see that.
1933. Though many cite Superman's debut as being his 1938 appearance in the first issue in Action Comics, he had actually appeared in two separate short stories prior. The first was a comic titled The Reign of Superman, in which the character debuted as a villain.
What time is it?
In 1933,
12:45,
however,
wow.
the creators began first toying with the idea of making him a hero. However, shortly after completing the comic, they were dropped by the publishing company. Unable to catch the eye of other publications, in a fit of rage, the comic was burned out of shame, with only the cover surviving. It's unknown if any copies of the full issue exist today. Many comic historians have tried to secure copies of the short story,
Like, seeing
but to no
anything like
success.
this that was lost is pretty cool.
The
Just to,
Death
like,
of the
notice
Family,
that, you know.
alternate version.
Like, just to see any of
In
these things, it would be
1988,
pretty cool.
DC Comics infamously published a series of comics in which the Joker successfully kills Jason Todd, Batman's second Robin. At the end of an issue in the series, A Death in the Family, a call line was included for fans to vote on whether or not Robin should survive. This implies that some alternate issue may have existed, and the off-chance fans voted for Robin to live. Evidence of the alternate Jason Lives issue does exist, with one page having been completed and the other sketched. Roro-chan, 1999. On November 24th, 2013, a 14-year-old Japanese live streamer named Roro-chan, 1999, committed suicide after jumping off her 13th floor apartment balcony. It was said to have been instigated by chat, telling her she would fulfill her dreams of becoming a legend if she did so. The entire incident was streamed and archived, though it was briefly lost, until revitalized interest led to the footage being re-uploaded.
Oh lord.
The Shining, deleted scenes. Considered by some as one of the greatest films of all time, it's no surprise the film has deleted scenes. Unlike most deleted scenes,
I think
however, one of them actually
everything
made it
recorded
to the
has some
premiere.
deleted scenes. It always
At
just
the end of
does.
the film, there was originally an epilogue in which Danny and Wendy are recovering from the assaults. After premiering in Los Angeles and New York, Kubrick ordered for the scenes to be cut. Apart from the script and a handful of Polaroid photos, the scene remains lost to the public. The Mask 2. Given that The Mask was a box office success, spawning several tie-in series, comic books, and other spin-offs, it's unsurprising that talks of a sequel began. Even being advertised in a contest in Nintendo Power, The Mask 2 was on track to be greenlit until Jim Carrey turned the role down. Even after being offered $10 million, he noted that he disliked playing the same character twice. This led to whatever was completed for the sequel to be scrapped.
I don't know what to say to that.
PlayStation All-Stars DLC. PlayStation All-Stars is essentially the Super Smash Bros. Equivalent for the PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, all DLC, or downloadable content, characters for the game were cancelled mid-production during 2013, including several highly requested characters, including Darts from The Legend of Dragoon. Despite social media campaigns for the material to be released, none of the characters saw the light of day, with most never even being officially announced. Heartbeat in the Brain. In 1978, a documentary known as Heartbeat in the Brain screened at the Sudam Gallery in New York. The film, directed by Amanda Felding, showed Felding herself drilling a hole in her head using a dentist's drill. Supposedly, at least one audience member fainted while watching it.
No.
Although the film was screened again in 2011, it has never surfaced online,
Why'd you do
aside from a
that?
few clips.
Why? I don't. Why'd you do that? Why? Why? Dear Lord.
The Lost Apollo 11 footage. The Apollo 11 landing, in which astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped foot on the moon, has become known as one of the most monumental moments in human history. However, although the footage of the actual touchdown has been preserved, the full original SSTV tapes of the event have mysteriously been lost by NASA. This was due to an apparent issue converting signals from the cameras, as they were incompatible with broadcasting standards. As a result, it seems that the uncut footage has genuinely been lost forever, with NASA themselves speculating that they were likely wiped for reuse shortly after the broadcast, and are thus unrecoverable. Rugrats Storyboard Jam. During downtime on the production of Rugrats, storyboard artists at Nickelodeon began venting their frustrations by collaborating on a grotesque, darkly humored comic featuring the show's characters. This included references to incest, molestation, and murder. The storyboard jam was eventually confiscated by an executive producer
I freaking
who
hope
was,
so.
quote, disturbed.
Well, no.
It's unknown if the comic was destroyed or simply locked away,
It better
though
happen.
one page has resurfaced online from a participant. Dracula, 1931. In original screenings of 1931's Dracula, an epilogue by Edward Van Sloan was included, of the actor directly
Creepy.
speaking to the audience. The epilogue was eventually cut when it was reissued in 1936 to avoid controversy from religious groups. Though some footage and audio have surfaced throughout various behind-the-scenes documentaries, the full epilogue has escaped release. The Land Before Time uncensored version. Don Bluth's The Land Before Time was heavily censored before release, with many of these scenes cut without the director's wishes. 13 minutes of complete animation in total were cut from the film, largely to secure the film's PG rating. This included several extended chase and fight scenes, as well as an entirely alternate ending for the film. The footage and production materials exist, though they're unable to be released without the express permission of a rights holder. El Hombre Lobo. I think the
That's
Iceberg
fucking
image
scary.
is referring to Knights of the Werewolf, a supposed 1968 horror film. It was said to have been filmed in Paris before the director died in a car crash the week after its completion.
Fuck.
The issue is that this supposed director may not have existed. No record for the name René
What?
Govar has been found, and all details relating to Nights of the Werewolf originate from one man, named Paul Naschy. It's speculated he may have invented the film to boost his early resume. However, one supposed still has surfaced, though it's possible Naschy could have faked it to boost his credibility.
If I was faked and
South
shit,
Park,
wow.
episode 200 and 201, uncensored.
Honestly, I don't watch South
In
Park.
South
I
Park's
never really have.
controversial 200th and 201st episodes, they tackled the issue of broadcast censorship head-on, alluding to the Prophet Muhammad after facing previous backlash for depicting him. The episodes were heavily censored before airing, and have been denied re-release on streaming services. One of these included an ending monologue regarding the effectiveness of violence, which in the TV broadcast was entirely censored. Originally thought to be a meta joke, the original audio was leaked after a hacker downloaded the original file from the servers of South Park's websites.
Oh shit.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, the alternate version. Rare's Conker's Bad Fur Day, released in 1999, was notorious at the time for how raunchy and offensive its humor was. However, prior to 1999, the game was
It's a creepy
intended to be
face.
another family-friendly IP, known as 12 Tales, Conker 64. After receiving criticism for making another kid-friendly 3D platformer, the game was redesigned for a mature audience. A prototype build of the original game has since surfaced, showcasing what the game was like before development shifted gears. Mean Girls DS.
Mean Girls DS.
Developed by 505 Games, Mean Girls was a tie-in game for the 2004 comedy film of the same name.
I love that movie.
Intended for the Nintendo DS, it was scheduled for release in 2010, though for unknown reasons, never saw the light of day. The
Yeah,
game
what
was
the
described
fuck?
in reviews as a Puzzle Quest ripoff, though the ESRB stated it was a text-based adventure game. Neither of these descriptions match surface screenshots, however, which instead illustrate it as a simple series of minigames. Though the studio is aware of interest in the game, they've been unable to provide further information for a
It's
variety
pretty
of
cool.
copyright reasons.
I never knew that. Wow.
And consequently,
Wow,
the game has yet to resurface.
It's crazy.
Osama bin Laden's body photos. Upon the raid that led to Osama bin Laden's death, a series of photos documenting his body's condition were taken in Afghanistan before it was thrown into the ocean. Because the body itself was thrown into the ocean to prevent martyrdom, it's perhaps unsurprising the photos of his corpse have remained unpublished as well. Though some photos purport to be from the incident, these have all been debunked as fake. SpongeBob Invader Pants Krabs' Army. During the 9th season of SpongeBob SquarePants, an episode with the segments SpongeBob Invader Pants and Krabs' Army canceled during production. It's unknown what these episodes entailed, though they apparently never made it past storyboards. An image has surfaced of the storyboards for SpongeBob Invader Pants, though they are largely unlegible. Life Sucks. Life Sucks is the title of the intended 7th episode of Ren and Stimpy's adult party cartoon. Considered by those who worked on the episode as the best Ren and Stimpy episode ever, it's centered around pessimistic and nihilistic philosophy. The episode had been storyboarded, though due to low ratings, the entire show was cancelled, prematurely ending production. The full synopsis remains unseen,
Seems pretty
with
fucked to
only a
me.
few early storyboards surfacing online. The death of Don Brent Show. In 2010, SeaWorld trainer Don Brent Show was tragically killed by the largest orca whale the zoo had. A
Fuck.
perfectionist, she would always record her performances to help herself figure out how to improve. As a
Okay.
result, her graphic death was captured on camera, including when the whale refused to let go of her mutilated limbs. The incident was documented in the film Blackfish, which actually shows footage. However, it cuts right before her death.
That's honestly terrifying. Just to like have it on, just to have that on film. That's fucked. That is so fucked.
Pseudo Scorpion. Pseudo Scorpion is a supposed album created by an artist named Zenjin. It's described as an album made using fragments of child pornography audio. No other information on Zenjin can be found online, and due to its disgusting nature, it will likely remain lost.
Probably.
Him. Him is a
Are you
1974
curious about
gay
his sexual
pornographic
life?
film about a young
No.
gay man obsessed with Jesus Christ. according to what very little is written about the film online. The main character uses his obsession with Christ to understand the hidden meanings of the Gospels. The only remnants of this film are a few ads and reviews from newspapers. I mentioned in the book the Gold Turkey Awards, and a few online discussions here and there. One of the film's actors was revealed to be Gustav von Will, who played Jesus. Unfortunately, Gustav passed away in January 1991. His IMDb page contains no other works besides him, The Butcher. In 2019, a post was made onto r/tip-of-my-tongue about a supposed film that aired on Nickelodeon. The film was described as using real bones from animals, such as cats, dogs, and birds.
I have a cat.
Supposedly,
Stop.
the whole thing was in black and white, contained no dialogue, and used ambient music, which only added to the creepiness.
The fuck's the point of that?
In a follow-up post, the film Butcher's Hook is believed to be the long-lost short, though this hasn't been confirmed.
These things are all
Go
fucked.
for Punch.
Huh?
This is the name given to a supposed anime on the deep web. The anime was first brought to attention by a user on 4chan. According to this user, the anime was about girls who were stuck in a large bathroom. After a few days, they started to commit suicide in brutal ways. The quality was apparently 80-ish, and it was in subs. Though many people were interested in seeing this anime, there is no proof of its existence, and it's likely a hoax.
I freaking
The
hope
Rape
so.
of Wonder Woman.
Oh my
This
god.
was an unreleased comic book by Mark Miller, a writer who is known for being quite controversial. It was supposed to be in the same vein as The Death of Superman or Nightfall, with something tragic happening to our heroes. Though Mark claims it was just a joke, he supposedly mentioned that DC were considering it, but ultimately dropped the idea. There is very little information about it online, if it exists at all. Q source. According to Wikipedia, the Q source is a collection of hypothetical sayings from Jesus. Apparently, out of the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Matthew and Luke have some overlapping writing that is not shared with the other Gospels. What's even more strange is that these overlaps are quotes from Jesus. The theory is that Matthew and Luke got these quotes from a different source, hence the Q source, which is of course lost. I'm not an expert in religious studies at all, so if anyone knows more about this, I'd love to read more in the comments. Medieval found footage. From what I could tell, this is basically just a conspiracy theory about time travel. The theory states that in the future, when time travel is possible, people will travel back to medieval times to capture the past. There's apparently videos, or at least one, on YouTube right now claiming to be from medieval times. And who knows if there's more out there. I guess they haven't happened yet. All lost media has always been on the internet. I guess this implies that pieces of lost media can exist online with no one knowing. Who's to say that him or the Apollo 11 tapes aren't already online, but under a different name or something? We'd never know. Alrighty, and that is the Lost Media Iceberg.
Holy fuck, that was
It
long.
was a lot, but it was fun to go over, and I sort of had a trip down memory lane talking about these things again. Right now, I'm just going to give my thoughts on the iceberg, completely unscripted. And if you're new to Lost Media, it should be pretty fascinating. But if
grab
you
my
know
charger
yourself, this iceberg is kind of all over the place. I mean, one level is just a bunch of murder and suicide and stuff like that. And then below it, we just get back to talking about SpongeBob and Sonic, and I'm not sure if this iceberg is ranked on how dark the media itself is or how obscure it is, which are kind of different. I think it's a mix between the two, but there are definitely some things that I would switch around. No disrespect to the people who made it. The Lost Media scene over there is just different than over here. Like Go for a Punch, I'm assuming, isn't talked about as much in the Spanish side of the Lost Media community as it is over here. But yeah, I guess that's the point of the iceberg. And this was fun to make. It wasn't super editing intensive. I kind of wanted to take a break, but still do something. And I felt like, hey, this should be the perfect video for now, since I'm a little I was a little burnt out after the Finders video. But I'm doing better, I'm good, and I'm gonna get back into it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm curious to see how it does. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Wow. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, I honestly don't even know what to say to that at all. That was a long video. Holy crap. I can't even believe it's been an hour now. I won't have to fuck anything up, so I'm just gonna throw her over here. But yeah, honestly, I just don't even have words for that. Because, like, a lot of them, I had no idea what it even was, and then all it was just kind of like is kind of like, yeah, like, this happened, and I'm kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? So if you guys still want me to react to Blame It on George, old other videos that are long, I'll obviously try. Obviously I can do it, I just did it, but do I want to do it again? Not really. Even for like a animated video, I feel like I would put it into 3 parts or something, just because it's too much at once. And I just get so tired looking at the screen for an hour. Like, it's been an hour now. So, yeah, wow. I'm curious for your guys' thoughts, to be honest. Like, I'm actually gonna go under the video right now and see the comments, because, like, honestly, I don't know what to say to this. I don't know what other people are gonna have to say to this, to be honest. Because, again, a lot of the people watching this now, like, are probably not gonna know any of these shows from, like, the 1930s. So it's like, what are you really gonna say about it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know what I would say to that. Like, it was interesting for sure. I honestly just did not know what to say. So it's crazy to think that all these are the lost media we have noticed and found. There must be countless pieces of media that are just forgotten. It's true. I mean, Crow's DS, literally right after Selma Banon's body photos. Level 2, cannibalism. Level 4, the studio who made the Yi Dino. Like, a lot of these, I don't even understand what the comments are saying. Okay, the level list wasn't anything I expected. I'm at level 6, and there's a cancelled Mean Girls game. 3 levels below suicide or lethal accent footage. Imagine posting yourself on 4chan and someone turns into a creepypasta. Yeah, I don't even... Imagine digging around your attic and finding the possibly last remaining piece of a certain thought to be lost media just sitting there. Honestly, lost media is probably anywhere. Like, you could probably like look something up from YouTube from anything in this video and you'll probably find something. Again, some of it has already been there. It's just crazy to think how much lost media there is and how much lost media there actually, you know, could be, and that's like leaked, or it may be in your house. I doubt that. But I mean, we didn't get this house in like the 1990s, so you never know what's in here, right? I mean, we've been here for like 30 years, but you know, who knows what's in here. Honestly, I'm sorry if you guys did not get the reaction you were hoping for from me. It's just that a lot of those I did not know what they were, and I got exhausted. After like 40-45 minutes, I was still trying to pay attention to stuff. Not gonna lie, I'm glad it's over, just because I want to go to bed now, but honestly, definitely interesting to like watch and see, and like know certain things, you know, because it's kind of like a history lesson. It kind of just like goes over a bunch of stuff that happened in the past, and it's kind of like, oh, I did not know this happened, you know. So it's kind of like a little like history lesson in a sense to me. Yeah, so I really just like the idea of someone wanting footage of someone dying on camera. I don't care if it's for documentation purposes. Julie wants to see last moments of someone suffering. If it's worth documenting, or even their loved ones don't approve. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I don't. Like, just the fact that it's still saved somewhere, it's kind of like in a sense, it's like you're probably never gonna get that again. But like, what are you gonna do? Like, watch over it? Oh my god, someone died in this video. Let's take a look. Like, what? Like, when are you ever someone gonna want to see someone die on camera? The whiplash of going from death, school shooters, cannibalism, and suicides to super horny bros. Fucking killed me though. Like, when I saw that, I was like, alright. I still don't understand the iceberg, so please, if someone's still at this point in the video, an hour 4 minutes in, please tell me, when you got, when there was like the 5 things in the iceberg, why was it all like separated into like different, like, I don't understand what that point is. I don't understand why it's called the iceberg. Like, what does the iceberg have to do with it? Like, it has nothing to do with an iceberg. It's just about lost media, right? So, I'm stupid, so that's probably what it is. So, if I don't know what I'm talking about, then that's obviously that. And yeah, I honestly do not know what else to say. Yeah, again, obviously I did not know majority of those shows or lost media things, so in the sense, I was more so just in the sense kind of like, oh damn, you know what I mean, kind of like, oh, you know, that's interesting, never heard of that, didn't know that existed, right? Especially the older thing at Backyardigans than the whole Mean Girls games. I never knew there was a Mean. Like I saw, I learned something new today, some stuff I did not necessarily want to know. Anyway guys, thank you guys for watching. An hour, 5 minutes in. I don't know if you guys are still here, but if you guys are, you rock, you're the true fans. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other Blame It on George suggestions, which I know you do. I know you've commented a lot by now, so don't even comment, because I already know what they are. Hopefully they are a lot shorter than this, and hopefully some are a bit more easy to understand, because like he also went super fast too, so it's like he would just go, yeah, like molestation, child pornography, okay, next, and it's kind of like, I can't even process what you just said, and then I'm going to the next thing, it's kind of like, wait, what, you know what I mean? And I did not want to keep pausing, because that's just going to be way too much of a headache to edit after so long too. Like, I just don't want to deal with that right now, I'm exhausted. But I don't know what to say. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. I don't know if you guys were shook by anything. For me, I was basically shook by everything, because I obviously did not know any of that, you know what I mean? Like, even some of the shows that you would think I probably know, I didn't, but it's kind of like, you know, it's obviously interesting to know what happened in the past. What celebrities, or like Michael Jackson, you know, like what they were doing, unreleased songs, or doing this or doing that, or making a film with like torturing people or whatever. It's just crazy to think and like imagine to know that that happened, or it was true, like, you know, 90 years ago. I don't know. It definitely is crazy. To me, it's just like a history thing of like everything before. Again, there's obviously lost digital media, lost media of like anything. I feel like everything has like deleted scenes, lost media of something. Like every show, they have to have some kind of deleted scene, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily bad, it's just like a normal scene that was like deleted, never aired. But I'm just curious, for a lot of stuff that was never aired, like, curious what it was, you know what I mean? Like, it was never aired, so you don't know, right? So it's just crazy to see like what actually was out there, or what could have been out there. Anyways, again, thank you guys for watching. I know a lot of you guys suggested this, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. I really hope I did not waste my time watching this video, if anyone watches this. But again, it was definitely interesting, so either way, it was definitely cool to know. But again, I'm watching this for you guys, so I hope you guys did enjoy it. If not, crap. But again, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow with probably Wednesday Entertainment, some Dhar Mann, and we'll see what happens. But at this point right now, that's all I got for you guys tonight. It's now 1:08 in the morning. Deuces, guys. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. Please like this video if you guys did enjoy it, and be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications as well, so you don't miss any future videos I do upload. That's enough talking for me. I gotta go. Deuces.